You know, when it comes to the teaching on marriage and divorce, there's a whole lot of confusion out here. And I think the biggest problem is when people don't really study and get a true understanding on who's talking. Who's doing the talking? Who is talking to? Who are the important people in the passages that you are reading? Does it still apply to today? What did Christ say? You got this argument, well, Moses said this, the law said this, Christ said this, Paul said this. So then you have new people in the faith who sitting there like, man, I don't know what to believe. So this is a video response back to you, Miss Wells, okay? Now, like you say, as a divorced woman, your husband divorced you, right? And he's still alive, right? Now, what you're referring to is what Paul had wrote out. Now, Old Covenant, New Covenant. This is why you hear people say, well, I think Paul contradicted what Moses' law, the Mosaic law, under the law of Moses. Now, Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 2. This I'm gonna put you with this one right here, because you are divorced and your husband is still alive. And he put you away, according to your email. I'm just exactly what your email said. And he was abusive, according to your email, putting hands on you, just terrible. And you're divorced now. And the pastor that you up under says, because you've now used with another man, and your first husband is still alive. So your husband told you, your pastor told you, let me get that right, that you are living in adultery and you're committing sin, and the Most High is not approve of that. But did he read to you and explain to you Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 2? Now, I heard many preachers that preach this, but they don't explain to the women what's really going on. Because again, when you look at Israel, what was wrote and how it was dealing with Israel at that time. Deuteronomy 24 says, in your situation for sure, that you can move on and you're not in sin. You're not in adultery because you done moved on and got married again, because he put you away. He put you away. Now, I'm looking at your email while I'm talking. It says, make sure I'm reading this right. Yeah, because you're a divorced wife. Now, I heard preachers like, okay, your pastor said, you must stay bound to your first husband as long as he's alive. So in your case, he's still alive, right? But Deuteronomy 24 teaches you different. It teaches you can go be with another man's, you can go be another man's wife. According to Deuteronomy 24, verse 2. Now, how are you still remaining in adultery if the first husband put you away, freed you up? And then what Christ said, yes, committing adultery, even just lusting in our mind, we commit adultery as men, But when he says, he refers back to, from the beginning, it was not so, right? Now, Paul's teachings, we know what Christ said, except for sexual immorality, right? So then you have what Paul writes in the Corinthians, dealing with the Corinthian believers. They had a lot of stuff going on, just like we see nowadays. Which, I'm trying to make this don't sound confusing, because it's confusing to a lot of people who don't study and catch it. Because, especially like when I see women who have husband passed away years ago, dead, And the Bible says if he passes away, you are freed up. Do you know how many women even take that and still don't believe it? I can't get married because of what I believe in my religion. The Bible just told you, you freed up. He's dead. Not trying to sound mean or nothing, but he's passed on. So when these dudes that be saying you supposed to still be, my question to you is, when these dudes say you supposed to still be bound to the first husband and he's still alive, so you supposed to stay single the rest of your life? Make that make sense to me. I'm just asking the question. So you supposed to stay single the rest of your life? And let me look back at the email. Now, that's why I had to go back to under the law of Moses. And then Christ showed the hardness of the heart. So again, when I hear you, when these men say you divorced your wife, you was a divorced wife, so you sinning, and your first husband put you away, but he's still alive, so you commit adultery, you sinning, but he put you away. Sign over the papers. But then you read Deuteronomy 24:2. So I'm asking y'all that's watching, help that make sense. So was Deuteronomy 24:2 a lie? Was what's wrote right there, was it a lie? When he says as the woman, she's freed up, she can go be another man's wife? That sounds contradicting when you don't break it down. Again, under the law of Moses, dealing with Israel. Now, how does it apply with Christianity? I'm just throwing, y'all already know, we've done so many teachings on this, even the other day when we talked about if he still want to live with you, he's willing to live with you, don't put him away. And if she's willing to live with you, don't put her away, vice versa. We done went through this so many times. That's why I'm not doing a Bible study. This is just a real talk video. And I'm asking y'all the questions. Not so much of what your opinion is, but what does the Holy Word say? Because again, you got the Mosaic law. You got under the law of Moses right there. And then you got what Christ taught. And then you got what Paul said. Was Paul and Christ teaching the same thing? It's my question to you. So on that note, give me some feedback. Shalom.